Once you have a basic map of where everything's gonna go, you've sketched it out using a regular pencil, the next step is to use a charcoal pencil to add your shading. Now with your shading, you wanna make sure that you have a variety of dark darks and then a large variety of middle grounds, middle grays, and then some whites. And to keep your paper white, you're going to need to put a blank sheet of paper on top of your work and rest your hand on that. Also, it would work best if you start from the left side of your artwork and work to the right. And if you need to go back on top of it, it's okay. However, if you're working over here, that way it's not smearing on this side. So I'm gonna start over here on the left side, and I can see that I have some dark darks, and that's where I wanna start, is with my darkest darks. And so I'm just gonna start right here with my charcoal pencil. Now I can see that it comes to right here. And I'm going to let that be pretty dark. Then I'm gonna take my blending stump, my tortillon, and I'm going to blend that in, smoothing it out. Now I have my tortillon, it already has some charcoal on it, so that's a great use for my middle ground. I'm now not using my pencil. I don't wanna put my charcoal pencil down here because this is my grays. And then I'm going to simply turn it around to a side that's already cleaned off, and obviously you could use sandpaper to clean this off, but I'm gonna use a side that's cleaned off, and that's how I'm going to pull it out. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in. I'm pulling it out with a clean side, adding that shade that I see there. Then I'm gonna go back with this tortillon, and I can see that this isn't quite dark enough, so I'll load back up with this darkest here, and then you can see that that makes a nice middle ground. So you don't want everything to be the same amount of gray, and I can see here it's starting to become all the same amount of gray, so I need to add in some darks. And so I'm gonna come back in with this dark here, and I want some of them to be completely black. Where we see the darkest parts, we're gonna exaggerate that, and we're going to blacken it. And where we see it to be light, then we're going to exaggerate that as well and make it almost white, so that we have strong contrast within our artwork. Okay, as we work on this, you can move your paper in and out, resting it on top of your artwork so that you're not smearing it as you go. Make sure to have that variety. If I don't see my darkest darks, I'm gonna tell you to go back and do it again. And if I don't see middle grounds, middle grays, then I'm gonna tell you to go back and do it again as well. The tortillon and or the blending stump, whatever you wanna call it, and your charcoal pencil is what we're gonna use for this part of the artwork.